were sitting on his bed. He whips out a harmonica. Poor misleading choice of words there. Whips it out, but it's a harmonica. I was like, if you want to show me that, you go right ahead. So he sure does.
Who do we got in the back seat today?
Hi, my name's Juliana.
Juliana, you said you had
A Tinder mishap.
a Tinder mishap.
Yeah, I'm going to tell the story of my worst and weirdest Tinder date.
Which app?
Tinder. It was truly Tinder. He seemed very normal. He went to Northwestern. We chatted about music and stuff. He seemed nice, looked cute in his photos. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm feeling like going over there tonight. We're ready to make it happen. I went to his apartment building. I am waiting in the lobby for him for a few minutes. The building's very old, sort of Victorian vibes. There's this old faded portrait of some woman hanging in the lobby. The portrait was certainly haunted. She was looking at me like I shouldn't have been there and I should have taken it as a sign. This guy then comes down the stairs, immediate red flags popping off all over the place. He's wearing a cut-off T-tank, shorts, and toe shoes.
Cut-off T-tank?
Yeah. It's the toe shoes.
Wait, the ones where...
The shoes that have individual toes that you wear, hiking and
Yeah.
Why are you wearing those in your own goddamn
Run.
Okay, so that's John. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm doing this anyway. So I go upstairs, go into his apartment. Red flags on red flags.
You just went up to his apartment. This is the first time you met him.
Yeah, I know. When I tell people this, they're like, you're asking to be murdered. If you had seen the apartment, you really would be questioning my judgment. So he was a geologist, a geology major or whatever, and he was playing this strange experimental noise music that he said was derived from the electromagnetism of the earth. So it just the music is going wee woo, wah 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 wah, wee woo, and I was like, okay. He was like, yeah, check out my record collection. And he had 20 records, weak as hell.
I was gonna say, was it just all the noises?
Yeah, he was just
earth sounds.
Extremely pretentious experimental music. I was like, okay, buddy. Another thing he did not mention in his Tinder profile, the obsession with Star Wars and Legos. Everywhere in the apartment, Lego sculptures of Star Wars characters.
Now, listen, I love Legos.
I know, they are
but
fun. I'm judging.
I also have a 7-year-old kid, so...
Oh. Yeah, no, this was a 21-year-old man. I was initially drawn to this match because he claimed to be an artist. And so I saw the drawing that he was working on. And it was this huge, probably 2 by 3 foot drawing that he said he had been working on for 5 months. He would put on a little magnifying glass to draw these infinitesimally tiny details. It was screaming mental illness. He also had made all of these sculptures that were throughout his apartment out of felt and hot glue, and they were extremely phallic. We went to smoke some weed on his back porch. Again, there were Legos outside.
I mean, when you're smoking weed outside, you gotta have something to do.
You gotta have something to do. He had very little furniture, and the stove in his kitchen, there were a bunch of pictures of men, kind of yearbook photos, taped up on the wall.
What are you still doing there?
What am I doing there? I literally don't know. I literally don't know. It was these are his victims, straight up. This is a serial killer. These are his tokens. The only thing I can say that kept me there was the fact that this was the weirdest man I'd ever met in my life, but he had kind of a sense of humor about himself, so I could really make fun of him, and he just sort of went with it.
So you made fun of him for these things, and he was just
yeah, he was just yeah, I know.
It's yeah, your picture's going up there next.
Right, yeah, he goes in his closet, pulls out his
That's the worst non-sexual or poop-related Tinder story we've had.
Oh yeah, it's not even over.
Oh, keep going.
So we're sitting on his bed. He had a studio apartment, by the way, so not really anywhere else to sit. We're sitting on his bed. He whips out a harmonica. Poor misleading choice of words there. Whips it out, but it's a harmonica.
Whip it out. Come on, whip it out. Just whip it out.
I was like, if you want to show me that, you go right ahead. So he sure does. He goes, honestly, medium impressive lung capacity. I did just sit there laughing at him, so I think he started laughing too and stopped. Then we made out. And then he said to me, I'm bored. Would you be mad if I kicked you out? Yeah, so
So he
I wasn't his type, I guess.
wasn't your oh wow.
I guess I didn't do it for him. So yeah, that's John. Oh, and then a couple months later I
Is
found
John
out.
his real name?
No, it's not his real name. I don't want to do that. He then dated a friend of mine from college for like a year. He dated my friend. I did not go to Northwestern also, so it wasn't even like we all like knew each other from undergrad.
Well, if he ever hears this and hears himself being talked about, you come on the show and you can tell us what was wrong with her.
Oh yeah, I really want to know John's perspective. There's only one guy in Chicago who's doing all that. All that? Come on.
How's the Tinder life been since then?
Oh, I don't really mess with it too much. It's just like I go on there for some likes, I guess, when I am in need of some validation. But most people, you mind if I share a message I received? Here, I think I actually have it memorized. So I have a lot of tattoos and I kind of forget how like fetishized that is. I matched with this guy who was a musician. Like I'm a musician too, so I tend to like be interested in that. I'm like, oh, there's something in common. Maybe we can talk about jazz.